Hello and welcome to our virtual sixth form open evening. My name is Ben Doyle and it is my great privilege to be the head teacher of St Peter's. St Peter's has been part of the local community since 1936. The picture you're looking at now are the first children who arrived at us. There are only about 60 of them and a handful of teachers. And over the past 80 years, we've grown to be a thriving community of around 2,000 students and about 250 adults at the school. Now, if you're considering joining us from another school, you may be concerned about how you'll fit into such a large community. Well, I'm really pleased to say that last year in our sixth form, of our 180 students who joined us, 60% of those were from St Peter's and about 40% were from schools from the surrounding area. So you won't be alone if you are thinking about joining us, and certainly we have many activities planned to help you settle in and transition to life with us at St Peter's. I'd like to say a little bit more about what we're about here at St Peter's, and I think the easiest way to do that is to share with you our mission statement, which goes as follows. With Christ as our guide, learning together, loving God and each other, becoming the best we can be. So if we start off with that top line, with Christ as our guide. We at St Peter's are a Catholic school. We're part of the Diocese of Portsmouth, which is more to do with our geographical area, and we're also part of the Salle Order, which is something that runs a bit deeper. And I'd like to explain to you exactly what that means in just a moment. But regarding our Catholic ethos, unlike when students join the school in Year 7, when there are all sorts of faith categories and other ways in which you enter St Peter's, at the sixth form, the only entry requirements are that you meet the subject-specific requirements for your courses. As a result of that, not every student in the sixth form is Catholic, but it is important that everybody supports our Catholic ethos. And when I talk about the Catholic ethos, I really mean the golden rule, which is shared with us in Matthew's Gospel, and that goes as follows. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. And no matter what your faith, no matter what your background, that is a rule that we can all ascribe to. Now, I'd mentioned a moment ago that we were part of the Salle Order, and it seems strange to think that somebody who was around in 1650 can still be relevant to us today. But he really shapes what we are all about here at St Peter's, and this is one line from him, one quote from St John Baptist de la Salle, which I think is particularly poignant. To touch the hearts of your students is the greatest miracle you can perform. So here at St Peter's, we're far more about just educating the mind, we're also about hearts as well. We're about hearts and we're about minds. And that really is also underlined by this quote here from Benjamin Franklin, who talks about how we should teach perhaps our students. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. So it's all about our students here being active learners. When you are in your lessons, it's not something that's done to you, it's something that's done with you. And we really, really want all of our teachers to reach out to our students and to help inspire them, to help touch their hearts. We also spend a lot of time looking at the science behind learning and the science behind teaching. There's all sorts of books here we're looking at as a school in order to make our lessons as most engaging and as active as possible, so all our students get the very best from them. One thing I'm particularly interested in this year, or excited about this year, is the Vesper mindset. This is something we're really investing in to ensure that our students in the sixth form in particular have all the skills they need to be able to be really effective learners. So we're about developing teachers and we're about developing learners. If we do those two things right, our students will do absolutely fantastically at school. The reason we spend so much time looking at this is really very straightforward. I've actually written out this quote for you here, which is from the book by John Hattie to do with teaching and learning in schools. And he said this, with the best teaching, a student will learn in 6 months what it takes an average teacher a whole year to teach. With poor teaching, the same learning will take over 2 years. That's a 4-fold difference in the speed of student progress. So here we know if we get the teaching right, it can have a huge impact on how well your children will do, and that's why we spend so much time devoted to it. But learning also takes place outside of the classroom, and there are many other activities we like our students to get involved in. The pictures you're looking at on the screen include our school production every year, which is absolutely fantastic. For all those who are interested in the performing and creative arts, something I'd really recommend you get involved in. We've got a picture of one of our sports leaders. This is where our students actually become the teachers. So our sixth formers will often teach primary school children. We've also got our young enterprise team who always do really well. There's the team there on the bottom left. And on the bottom right, we've got one of our external lectures in. So every year we like to get people in from the field of science, the field of history and others to really give another insight into that subject, to really help develop that passion for learning that we want within our students. The next line of the mission statement is loving God and each other. And when we talk about this for me is all about community. And there are 2 events in particular which stand out. The first is our whole school mass, and that's on St Peter's and St Paul's Day each year, where we all gather on the school playground there. You can see the beautiful view as well. And we come together as a community. That's every child from age 4 in the primary phase, all the way up to our sixth formers. And on the right-hand side, we've got a picture of our annual school-sponsored walk. This is a day which we call Be More Claire Day. It's a day where we remember a teacher of ours who sadly passed away a few years ago, but we like to mark and celebrate her life and to do some amazing work for charity as well. And again, this is a superb day where the entire community walk from our school all the way to Hengistbury Head and back. We raise lots of money and we also do a lot of learning on that day as well. So 2 real events there, all about loving God and loving each other. The final line of our mission statement is becoming the best we can be. And I wonder how we might be able to judge this. How do we know if our students have become the best they can be? Well, there are a number of places we can look. First of all, we can look at the performance tables on the government website and see how we've performed in comparison to other schools. There's also the Ofsted website as well, when you can look up inspection reports. And I'd invite you to look at both of these because we are very proud of our results here at St Peter's, and certainly our last Ofsted report was very good. But these were both historic. They're both quite a while ago. And I think it's really important to think about how we're going to do moving forward in the future, because I would think you're more interested in the results in 2 years' time when your child will be taking their A-levels. And this is what I love. It's one of my favourite days here at St Peter's when our A-level results are released and the students come in and create fantastic results. All of these students here did absolutely superbly, and we're delighted to see how many of our students go on some of the top universities in the country and also go on to any other course as well, because becoming the best we can be is all about the individual for us. It's about looking at what these students need to do what they want to do to move on in life. And that may be going to a top university, it may be going straight into a profession, but what we like to do is to support all of those students on that journey. So that's just a little bit about us. My introduction is very brief this evening because there are lots of other things for you to see as well. And I'd just like to invite you to watch some of our other videos that are available on the website. The first is from the head of our sixth form, that's Mr. Wilder. He will tell you a lot more about the opportunities available for you at St Peter's. There's also our subject welcome videos, and this is every single subject we deliver post-16. We've got a video by the students who actually take that course, who can answer a number of your questions you may have about that course. I would invite you to look at a number of those. Don't just limit yourself to 3. Look at a good number of courses there so you can really gain an insight into what learning is like here in our sixth form. We've also got our superb student prefect team who are giving you a talk on their role at St Peter's and how they found their time here so far. And there's also a virtual tour of the site as well. That's done via a drone video. It's fantastic. You'll see how beautiful the surroundings are that we have here. If after all of that you've still got some other questions and you're unsure and you want to find out a little bit more about us, there's an online form you can fill in where you'll meet with either a member of the sixth form leadership team, a member of the senior leadership team, and some students as well. So really enjoy the rest of your open evening experience. I invite you to look at all the other videos available. And if you do have any questions, do get in touch. And we look forward to receiving your application in due course. Thank you and goodbye.